As dominant as Chad Wienen has been throughout the 2013 season, there still remained one box unchecked on his to-do list, and that was sweeping an event with 1-1 Moto scores to win the overall. Until last time out at Redbud, when he did exactly that, claiming victory in Moto 1 over his teammate Thomas Brown, and then coming back firing in Moto 2 to steal the lead from the veteran Joe Bird and rage on to victory. And with that 1-1 performance, another significant checkmark. Wienen had reclaimed his championship. Now with the number 1 plate firmly tucked away for another year, Wienen looks to go out on top. The grand finale is next. We still have some business to take care of. It's the grand finale of the 2013 Mountain Dew ATV Motocross Championship, the venerable ATV Dirt Days, of course, hosted at Loretta Lynn Ranch, beautiful facility here outside of Nashville. Been hosting ATV racing here for a long, long time, since the early 1980s, basically when ATV Motocross began. Huge crowd has turned out for this finale for this season, and the pits, of course, very nicely laid out here as we share this event with the big Red Bull Amateur National Motocross event for two-wheelers, and the ATVs roll in here. Chad Wienen rolling in with another number 1 plate in his machine. Joel Hetrick trying to end the season the way he started it, with incredible speed and a moto victory. So let's get inside the heads of all of our top riders before we go racing this afternoon.
So we just got off the track after practice 1, and I walked the track yesterday. I knew it was going to be a debatable track. So my mindset was to go out there and just charge hard first lap. That's exactly what I did, and we ended up getting the fastest qualifier in the first practice. So looks like some weather's kind of rolling in, so we'll see what happens, and maybe we can go from there, and I'll be pumped if we can get the fastest qualifier.
We're here at round 10 of the Mountain Dew AMA Championships at Loretta Lynn's Ranch. We just finished with round 1 qualifying. Man, the weather's held off so far. It's been wet here all the last 2 weeks, and it's looking like it's coming back in, but ended up pulling off a 3rd position qualifying in that first one. The weather comes in, the second one could get pretty nasty, so we'll see how it works out, but I'll be happy with the 3rd gate pick. Gate's pretty even, so I'm looking forward to going to that first moto and hopefully stealing up that 2nd place in the championship. I'd like to make this Wienen Motorsports team go 1-2.
All right, coming into the last round of the year, we wrapped up the championship a round early at Redbud, and I'm just really excited. Paul Turner, my mechanic, he has never won here before, and I really want to come here and try and get him a win here. And I'm just really happy the way that things have gone this year, and got it all wrapped up. I mean, it's a lot of pressure off my back, and I just come here and enjoy. Go to Loretta's and enjoy it, and this is it's a dream come true. I mean, to back it up, after the first year in 2012 with the 13 championship, and back to back. I mean, it's a lot. It's so much hard work that goes into this, and a lot of we've had the craziest year with the weather, and I'm just really excited on how things went for us this year. And it's I've stayed on the box. I mean, I've won. I believe I've won 7 rounds in a row now, and I'm just. It's almost surreal. It's hard to believe that that's happened. So I mean, I'm really humbled that it's it's like one of those things. It's like something's got to go wrong because it's feeling way too good. How it's going. And
stop right there, Chad. Stop right there. Something has gone wrong. Here comes more weather. So those boys were thinking it was going to happen, and indeed it did. There's Howard Russell and the crew out there on the tractors trying to get this thing cleared up. It is flat, nasty, and we've basically been cursed with this all season long. Very rarely have we had a race where the 2 motos and the practice sessions were clear of bad weather. So if anything, these riders have a lot of experience in it, but boy, you were hoping that they would go out there and be able to strut their stuff in great conditions. It's really all about attitude right now. Everybody's got to try to enjoy it. Try not to let the bad weather let them down or get them down. Let's go racing. splashing their way into the first turn. And it's the veteran Ironman, John Natale, with the whole shot. Another rider there, clearly not with it. He's pointed the wrong way, trying to downshift his way to the gearbox and get back going. And it looks like Wienen has rolled up to the number 2 position. You can see the red number plate on the back of his Yamaha as he puts the pressure on the Motorsport Honda of Natale. Now into the 10 Commandments. Normally a section of double, even triple jumps, but in the mud, it's anyone's guess what the rhythm will be. A lot of split lines here at the Loretta Lynn track. Mark Peters and the crew at MX Sports a week ago and the Racer Productions people trying to work multiple lines into the track. You can see Natale going outside of that big anthill turn and even pulling away a little bit from your champion, who now has his teammate Thomas Brown in tow in the number 3 spot. Now headed toward the beach, big sweeper. And here on the infield, the fans get a good view of Brown going over the bars. He's back on the machine. And he has recovered. Thomas Brown is back going. I cannot believe what we just saw. Watch this. All right, obviously, he comes up short. He endos. I thought he was done, but here he is right back on the machine and apparently not hurt. Wow. I've been racing here a long time. I thought I had seen it all. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that. Thomas Brown back up and in this race as John Natale tries to get away. It's early. What's going to happen next?
Find your flow with Maxxis Tires.
Racer TV is brought to you by Mountain Dew, by Amsoil, by Rocky Mountain ATVMC, by Can-Am, and by Maxxis. John Natale continues to lead the way here. Jason Wygant giving you the call on Racer TV's coverage of the Mountain Dew ATV Motocross Championships. See the track here at Dirt Days, Loretta Lynn Ranch. Still pretty muddy. I guess right now it's the Mud Days National. Natale has really put the hammer down and gotten away from Wienen. But these conditions are going to change quite a bit. Natale has already started to change his lines. Now running the inside of that anthill. There is an outside line of this right-hander Natale just cleared, but that is a swamp. No one's going to go through there now, but we'll see as the race goes on, a 20-minute moto, and then we'll follow it up with a second moto, how much the lines and the race surface will change. Right now, it actually looks pretty good in some sections, actually getting a little bit loamy. About to put another lap through the books, past the grandstand. It's going to double up and double through. That's the finish line. Their split jump. Sticks to the inside. Wienen back in second. Natale has a gap of about 5 seconds as they go past the famous billboards here. How about Jeff Rastrelli in third and Thomas Brown, who was end over end, absolutely, completely flipped the machine while he was still on it and has recovered to run in the number 4 spot and now challenging the young Rastrelli for a podium position. Here is Rastrelli on a Can-Am with pressure being applied, and Brown is eating a lot of mud. He is totally covered right now. But a good job by Rastrelli. We have seen a couple of flashes of speed from him this year. That's the kind of potential that the teams and sponsors are looking for. He certainly has a great record coming up through the ranks in this series and is showing he might just be able to do great things as a professional. And you still have to get around, though, the guys like Natale who have been doing it and doing it well for quite some time. Natale first won championship in this one back in, I believe, 2005. Give you an idea how long he has been competing at a top level. So here is Natale, another double, and the white flag is out. He has got this one. It has just been gate to flag. Wienen back in second, not putting in the concerted effort to try to run Natale down. He has been very consistent all year long, and he might be content with that. It looks like Brown, and an impossible run is now up to third in this moto despite the endo. Oh man, these 10 commandments have really gotten nasty here late in this race. Natali just trying to negotiate. It doesn't need to push the pace too hard on this final lap. At one point, Winden had got the gap down into the 2-second range, about 2.5 seconds. Thought he might make a run at Natali, but was never quite able to get close enough to put the pressure on. The good news for Winden, he was never quite in that roost zone either. Here it is, final corner. Natali gonna hang a left past the spectator section, and the Ironman has got himself another moto victory. Third one of the year for him on that lucky number 13. There's your champ, Wienen. Solid run on the Wienen Motorsports machine in second. And Thomas Brown, you got to tip the visor to that man. Recovering from a huge crash. Put it up on the podium. We'll be right back.
Sometimes you come across something so different, you just have to stop and check it out. The Rocky Mountain ATVMC website has everything you need, from our huge selection of tires, ATV and UTV accessories, and OEM parts, to our online chat, customer reviews, and instructional videos. Our extensive inventory means most orders arrive in 3 days or less. Get low prices, quick shipping, and incredible customer service. RockyMountainATVMC.com. Get ready.
Now when the sun come up, I'll be there to say what up in the morning. Perfectly at peace, so I move along a bit higher. I'll be up a bit away, cause they gon' judge me anyway. So whatever, I'll be up a bit away.
Crack open a can of new Kickstart by Mountain Dew. The perfect mix of dew, real fruit juice, and just the right amount of kick. Kickstart your day.
Racer TV is brought to you by Mountain Dew, by Amsoil, by Rocky Mountain ATVMC, by Can-Am, and by Maxxis. Time for a Mountain Dew moment. Let's send it to D-Manchak.
Thanks, Jason. Here we are, 2013 Loretta Lynn's Nationals, and I'm here with the 2012 Amateur Team of the Year. All right, this is what you can do with hard work and determination. These guys have got the biggest, baddest amateur team at the Nationals. We got 5 of these kids here that are #1 in their points classes, are battling for that first place position. And all you got to do as an amateur, come up here, show a professional presence, make a nice resume, come up here and talk to everybody, and you guys can be a part of a huge, great program where we guys come out and have a great time as a family. All right? We'll see you guys next year on Racer TV Online.
All right, thanks, D. Yeah, absolutely. We've got some great talent in the ranks. Some of those riders have now graduated up into the Pro Division. We'll be ready with our second moto of the day, the final one of the year. There's Josh Upperman. He was once a star in the Pro-Am ranks. Joel Hetrick, another rider who has come through the amateur wars and is now trying to challenge that man, Chad Wienen, for championships. And Thomas Brown, a little tape on the neck, otherwise A-OK and ready to go in this second moto despite a huge end-over-end crash in Moto 1. Got the helmet cam here on Upperman on the number 20. See how he does. They're bumping and banging into the first turn. It's going to be Josh Kramer on the BCS Can-Am with your whole shot. Chooses the inside of the split lane. We got the helmet cam here on Upperman. A rare start out of the top 3 for him. Looked like Hetrick and Wien right in front of him. And I'm looking also for Natali, who was our dominant first moto winner. Now it is Thomas Brown to the #1 spot around Kramer. So Brown, I cannot believe he's even lining up for this race, considering the crash, and now he's airing it out. The man out of Texas is feeling it in this moto, powered on probably by a little bit of adrenaline, able to get away. Now you can see some of the track's been cut off back there. There's normally a little bit longer rhythm lane, but all the weather they're having, we're cut back. And Brown, whatever lines they have carved into this track are working for him. And now we even have some dust popping up as Kramer in second tries to regroup and put a challenge to Brown. Now, interestingly enough, Brown running for second in the points this year, but he is still yet to grab his first career overall victory. He comes into this one with 7 overall podium finishes in 9 races so far this year. and working on an 8th out of 10. But the question is, if he holds on, wins this moto, he could be the overall winner for the day. But you still got Whedon back there circulating in 3rd, and the rest of the field keeping it close. So stay with us here on Racer TV.
The Can-Am Renegade 1000 XXC with the most powerful engine in the industry. The Outlander 1000 XT with a redesigned chassis for unequal trail riding. The Commander 1000 Limited, the most equipped, luxurious side-by-side in the industry. The facts say it's the most advanced lineup out there. But the ride says it all.
Any engine. Any season. At home. At the track. Or on the trail. AMSOIL, the first in synthetics.
Racer TV is brought to you by Mountain Dew, by AMSOIL, by Rocky Mountain ATVMX, by Can-Am, and by Maxxis. Well, Thomas Brown continues to lead here. ATV Dirt Days, final race of the year here from Loretta Lynn Ranch. Chad Whedon has his hands full with Joel Hetrick. They are battling for 3rd and 4th. And that has allowed our leaders, Brown and Creamer, to break away. Did not see much of Hetrick in that first moto where he was 6th. He's back with a vengeance here, working on Whedon for 3rd in this. Creamer not letting Brown off the hook, nor is Hetrick letting Whedon have an easy go of it. Our first moto winner, when we went to break, you probably just saw the 13 of Natali way back. I'd say out of the top 10 early in this one. Natali has now gotten up into the top 10, but he's going to be hard-pressed to try to replicate what he did in Moto 1 because he'd have to go through these riders, and they are on the gas. Look at Brown really laying it down on the Whedon Motorsports Walsh Racecraft machine. They got that BCS Can-Am of Creamer just close enough to take advantage if Brown makes a mistake. And you know, when you haven't won one of these things before, the more pressure that can be applied, the more nervous you're going to get. Creamer wants to keep the heat on Brown. And Hetrick doing likewise with Whedon. And there goes Natali. He's out. Headed back to the pit area. Got to assume there's something wrong with the machine because the Ironman gives up for no one or no thing. So he's out. That opens the door only even further now in the overall. Whedon seems to have responded to that challenge as he goes after Creamer. Now if Whedon is able to get into 2nd, he'll have 2-2 scores on the day that give him 4 points. That would tie him essentially with his teammate Brown, who would have a 3-1. But the tie always goes to the better second moto. So even if Whedon, and he goes to the inside, trying to make the pass here on Creamer, and I think he's got it sideways though on the landing, and Creamer grabs a handful of throttle, able to get back around there side by side into the beach. Great racing here between these two, and this time Whedon's able to seal the deal and make it stick. Two riders who have championship experience and have won plenty of races in this series. I really wanted to see more battles between these two all year long, but Creamer really played by his starts. Very inconsistent off the line most of the year. Now that Whedon has made the pass, he is on fire. Second half of this race, he's picked it up. Look at the gap. He's quickly open on Creamer, who must be having a problem because now Hetrick has caught him from way back. And you see the gap the leaders have opened up. And Hetrick into the number 3 position. So Creamer not the same rider that he was a few laps ago when he was actually challenging your leader. So the battle is on between the teammates up front. That would be for the moto win and for the overall. And you heard at the top of the show, Whedon mentioned he does have a 7-race win streak. So he's not going to just hand it over to his young teammate. He would love to make it 8 straight and end the year on top. And the battle is beginning to rage. Last lap, and hey, it's the last lap of the season, so you boys Might as well leave it all out there. Petrick, good ride in third. Into the 10 Commandments. It's blue versus blue. A little bit different rhythms jumping. Works out about the same here, the exit and entrance this corner. Now we're heading into what they call Storyland here at the ranch. Heading back toward the front. A little bit hidden for the view of the spectators here behind these trees. There goes Ween into the inside. Trying to work the same move he did on Kramer. Couldn't make it happen. Time running out. Boy, track is really rough. These machines are just bouncing all over the place. Like I said, totally different conditions in the first moto. It's going to come down to the last turn. Weenan setting up his teammate. Can he get a wheel inside? No! It's over, and Brown wins the moto by the slimmest of margins. And I believe, combined with the third in Moto 1, he should have his first ever overall. There is Hetrick with a hard-earned third. And there it is, Thomas Brown is your overall winner at Dirt Days. Kramer and Upperman in the top 5. Tough break there for Natali, who ends up 7th. Let's talk to our third place finisher.
First moto, I actually stalled on the whole shot. They held it for pretty long, so my clutch burned up and just the gate dropped and my clutch stopped. So started up and went from 20th to 6th. I was pretty happy about that. Second moto came out 4th or 5th and battled my way up to 3rd. I think I got 3rd, second to last lap, and actually gave me a 3rd place on the podium. Didn't really see it coming, but I was pretty happy about it and finished off the season strong with a podium, and that's what we wanted to do. So we're going to train hard this winter and try to get that red plate for next year.
All right, we just wrapped up the last round of the season here at Loretta Lynn's. We got blessed with some rain, once again. What better way to, end this season, and came out really good. The first moto came out second behind John, and I made a little mistake. Thomas got by me, but he just went through probably the craziest and scariest things I've ever seen before. His crash that he had, that he was able to stay on the machine, was that was pretty scary for me, and I was able to stay clear of that, and I just rode in second, and I saw him back on the track, which kind of gave me relief, and I'm just really happy with my moto finish was second, and came out the next moto and came out second right away, and then Thomas made a quick move and got by Kramer and myself, and I tried pushing it early, made a couple mistakes, and I finally cleaned up my ride, and I was able to start picking Kramer off, and I reeled in Thomas, and last couple laps we were tire to tire, and the track was it was hard to pass on, but we had a really good race today. We had Motorsports going 1-2, and I can't be happier, and having finished off the box all year long, and that's how you win championships, and I'm just really excited how the year went.
We just wrapped up here. Loretta's round 10. Man, finally got my first overall. It was an eventful day. I got to say, Moto 1 came out to start 3rd, got into 2nd. Teammate Chad made a little mistake, and I was pushing hard and came over a jump. Actually endoed, the bike flipped, and somehow I stayed on it. I got to give props up to my buddy up that I knew was watching over me and helped me get through that, Caleb Moore. I feel like he was with me and helped me through that. I can't thank him enough. I know he's watching over me every second. He got me back on that bike and let me only lose 2 positions and pulled back to a 3rd place finish. And then second moto, came out another 3rd, and then found a sweet line in the second corner, went around 1st and 2nd and pulled up into 1st. And man, tried to never look back. The last 2 laps, Chad was all over me and pushing me, but I was able to hold him off and take that moto win and take my first overall of my career. So, man, I'm pumped. I can't thank the Ween Motorsports, SSI Decals, Walsh Racecraft, Yamaha. We got Team Ballmer and Max is sponsoring us. A lot of people like great people like Wrath Racing, Fox Shocks, FMF, Wrath Nerf Bars. Man, just everybody's just jumped on board. The whole team's great. Finished out the season 2nd. So I am just so pumped, man. I just want to give everybody a big shout out and thank you.
Unbelievable. Let's give you the AMSOIL race recap, and we'll show you that big crash one more time. Whole shot goes to John Natali. Got the Yamaha boys, Weenan and Brown right there with him. Then Brown will move on to the number 2 spot, and then this. Crash of the year, crash of the decade. Crash of whatever amount of time you want to put together. He would recover, get up at about 4th, roll into 3rd. There was simply no catching Natali, though, out front. Masterful job for the Ironman, taking that Moto victory, but his luck would turn around in Moto 2. there was Brown getting third. Here we are in a Moto 2 hole shot for Kramer. Brown would get around him immediately, and those two would go at it early on. Great racing until Wienen showed up on the scene. He would pull away from Joel Hetrick, get Kramer for second, and then pressure his teammate. Here it is, last turn of the season. And Brown is just able to hold on, wins the Moto, and with 3-1 scores, takes the overall. Congrats to him. And a big thanks to you for watching on RacerTV.com all year long. I'm Jason Wygant. We'll see you next time.